The arrival of Mbappe at Real Madrid initially seems to create uncertainty for Vini and Rodrygo, but the player most affected will likely be Jude Bellingham. Bellingham's freedom of movement will be restricted as he steps in to replace Toni Kroos. Kylian Mbappe's transfer to Real Madrid has been completed, and the French striker has been unveiled at the Santiago Bernabeu. Now, coach Carlo Ancelotti faces the challenge of integrating this diamond into a squad that recently clinched La Liga and Champions League titles. Although Ancelotti was informed of Mbappe's impending arrival back in February, it's only now, with everything officially settled, that Don Carlo truly grapples with this complex puzzle. His preferred attacking formation from last season featured Vinícius and Rodrygo on the wings, without a central striker. Occasionally, Joselu was introduced for tactical variations, while Jude Bellingham played as a midfielder. Mbappe's presence demands changes, both tactically and in personnel, for Real Madrid. So, what does the future hold for Madrid's attacking players? And how can Ancelotti strike the right balance for continued success? Jude Bellingham, who transitioned from a box-to-box midfielder at Dortmund, has been given a more attacking role at Bernabeu. He excelled, scoring 23 goals across all competitions, just one goal behind the top scorer, Vinícius Jr. Bellingham operates comfortably in the number 10 position, where he enjoys freedom of movement and can push higher when goal-scoring opportunities arise. Under Ancelotti, Bellingham is also allowed to make dynamic movements between the forwards in their customized 4-4-2 system. This tactical setup gives Real Madrid a box-to-box midfielder when they don't have possession and a number 10 when they control the ball. If Ancelotti continues with this approach, Mbappe could replace Rodrygo alongside Vinícius Jr. in the attacking lineup, while Bellingham's role remains relatively stable. However, if Ancelotti opts to field Mbappe, Vinícius Jr. and Rodrygo together, experts suggest that Bellingham may need to revert to his previous role at Dortmund, closer to a central midfielder. This adjustment could limit some of the freedom that made Bellingham stand out last season. It's likely Ancelotti will prioritize defensive duties while relying on Bellingham's distribution skills from midfield, especially with Toni Kroos having retired. Vinícius Jr. is coming off his most successful season at Real Madrid, scoring 24 goals in 39 appearances. At first glance, Vinícius appears to be the player most impacted by Mbappe's arrival, given their shared position on the left wing. However, Vinícius Jr. has been increasingly deployed in a central role with positive results. Towards the end of last season, Ancelotti worked on convincing Vinícius to play more centrally, and the Brazilian player admitted at the close of the campaign, "Initially, I wasn't entirely convinced, but now I'm happy to play there. He always told me that I would score more goals, and although I didn't believe him at first, things turned out well." Ancelotti also half-jokingly remarked on La Sexta. At this point, playing on the left wing is a bit more challenging for him. There isn't much concern about Vinícius Jr.'s playing minutes in the upcoming season. As we've seen, if the customized 4-4-2 formation continues, Vinícius and Mbappé could partner up in attack, leaving Rodrygo as a substitute. If Ancelotti leans towards a front three, Vinícius Jr. could play on the left wing or as a center forward. The number 7 rarely appears on the right wing and hasn't played in that position since 2021. Mbappé is also capable of excelling as a center forward, so Vinícius isn't necessarily displaced from the left wing. Rodrygo is the most versatile among Ancelotti's forwards, able to play on both wings and in the center. However, he's the least favored if the Italian coach opts for just 2 attacking players. Last season, Rodrygo ended with 17 goals in 51 appearances across all competitions, making him the 3rd highest scorer for Madrid. His standout performance was in the Champions League semi-final against Manchester City. In both legs, Rodrygo played on the left, scoring 2 goals and causing problems for Guardiola's defense. Yet even before Mbappé's arrival was confirmed, Rodrygo's future at Madrid became a focal point. In an interview at the end of last season, Rodrygo hinted that he'd be willing to leave if he didn't feel trusted. Rodrygo bore the brunt of the consequences when Real Madrid signed Mbappé. Being relegated to the bench isn't easy for a player who was a regular starter. Last season, he played 3,706 minutes, only behind Federico Valverde and Antonio Rudiger. Despite consistent game time and being the third highest scorer in the team, Rodrygo faced challenges in terms of consistency. His versatility led him to play in various positions, affecting his stability. Rodrygo openly discussed these issues when playing as a number 9 in Ancelotti's customized 4-4-2 formation. However, with Mbappé's arrival, Rodrygo may find himself playing as a number 9 more often, especially if the club agrees to part ways with Joselu. Alternatively, if Ancelotti opts for a front 3, Rodrygo will continue on the right wing. Rodrygo also needs to be aware that he'll compete not only with Mbappé and Vinícius, but also with the young talent Endrick, while Brahim Diaz and Arda Güler are developing.